always a collusion of.
It's a ringer.
Wow, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
This is why I was trying to get the foil off the top. I'm gonna blame it on the foil.
Okay. Coming to you ultimately live from the Beer to Whiskey's studios, high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in glorious downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of It's Just Bourbon. And that's where, I don't know, we pick a bourbon or a rye, or sometimes a combination of both, and we sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. We talk about the distillery. We rarely talk about the history of distilling because we're not all that familiar with it. But anyway,
We're experts in different fields.
exactly. Or we stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. It could be one
Well,
of the
then we
other.
would talk about it.
Yeah, we would talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Exactly. So what we are going to talk about here is, I don't even have the whole name on this thing.
Yeah.
It's Blackened.
We're not even 100% sure what we're doing just with this whiskey.
Yeah, well, yeah, or
Let alone,
or mostly, yeah.
let alone the rest of the distilling
Or
world.
mostly, yeah. This is Blackened X Willett. I have had this, but it's very difficult to find. And I got
Russ went through hell and half of Georgia to find this one.
well
This thing up there.
in 3/4 of Florida as well, actually, to get my hands on
I'm
this.
saying something.
And so I'm not going to say where I got it. I got it in the secondary market, kind of, but I do want to salute my pal Wayne, who, and I'm not even going to give his last name because I don't want to rat him out because there's more stuff that I want. So anyway, for Wayne, we salute you.
Wherever you are.
Florida's where he is. Okay. Maybe should I not have
Giving
said
away
that?
secrets again.
No, it's he's not in South Carolina. Is that okay? Did I?
Just,
Okay, so here's
he's from round these parts.
yes. So here it is. The proof is 109.6. The proof is at least, well, they do it, they put this together from juice from different barrels and things. The average is 6.5 years. The oldest juice is 8 years old. Price is somewhere between $160 and $200 if you can find it. I think I paid $165 for it in a undisclosed location.
Right.
But it
That's
wasn't
better.
Yeah.
I was just surprised the foil didn't come off the top at all. But it doesn't appear to. So,
Okay. Well,
whatever it is.
it's blackened.
Yeah, it's fine. It's listened to Metallica for half of its life.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, these guys are always it's always a collusion of.
It's a ringer.
Wow, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
This is why I was trying to get the foil off the top. I'm going to blame it on the foil.
Okay, I'm going to blame it on you.
And you should. That's what you should.
So these guys, it's always a collaboration of this and that and the other thing for these guys. But what the Blackened has to do with is the way that they age it. And John, I will hand it off to you.
Oh, so we had to go figure this out for ourselves because we're veritable noobs here, but the whole Blackened arrangement is a collaboration between this master distiller and Metallica, collaborated on this process where they have teamed with this sonic lab to create a particular subwoofer that creates a specific frequency that vibrates the entire room and all the wood in it, such that it increases the contact time of the whiskey and the wood. And so this whole process has been called aging. I gotta look it up again now.
But
there's a lot of information that just happened in the last 10 minutes of my
Yeah, I
life.
just handed this to him.
Black noise.
Black noise. And it has to do with whatever subwoofers that Metallica uses at their concerts. This is the same, that it
Same
creates
technology.
that, it creates that, whatever the vibe is that they need for this. And so I can't remember who it was telling me that they had been in a Metallica concert and actually seen a barrel of bourbon sitting in front of one of the speakers. That's not normally the way these guys do this, but this was a promo for this whole thing, and so they did it that way. But
Well, it's very exciting anyway. In any case, and the Blackened Distillery has been making this super premium, or everyone agrees it's super premium bourbon or whiskey blends or whatever for a period. So for some time now, and it specifically says that
is that pretty or what? I don't know. I'm hoping you can see that coming through there, but that's,
I'm guessing that's very pretty because it's pretty with the lights coming towards it from me.
yeah.
So previous to this set of series, they've never disclosed who their juice comes from. But in this particular case, they've collaborated very specifically with Willett on this bourbon, and this has then become even more highly sought after than their other bourbons and whiskeys.
And rye.
And
And,
rye.
this is actually a rye. It's called Willett X. Blackened X Willett.
Yeah.
Or Willett X Blackened if you're reading from the bottom to the top. But if you read it properly, it's Blackened X Willett
Yeah.
or something.
Wait, it could be anything.
It's been a long day.
At this point, it could be anything.
So, my friend,
Let's give this a shot.
text Miss Lily.
Thank you. Ooh, that is a big nose. Holy crap. The fruit off of those Madeira barrels is so big on that first initial whiff. That is crazy. Did we even talk about how this is aged in Madeira barrels?
No,
It's
I don't think we even mentioned it.
cask finished in Madeira barrels, which is a Portugal origin fortified wine with a bunch of different presentations. They don't make any designation whether they used what sort of Madeira they used, but
the finish on that is just outrageous.
well, it smells like raspberry pie.
I didn't get raspberry pie. What I'm getting is
Wow.
on the
That is
back end of
bonkers.
this, I'm getting toffee and brown sugar and that kind of thing. But it's
Oh, that's right away. It's big toffee, like real toffee, right
Right.
up front. There's a little bit of you can
Gets
get
on
the
the
you get the
back.
rye spice, you get the wheat, and you get that a little bit barnyardy wheat that's out of the rye, and then it comes back. And then it comes back again with big butterscotch and caramelized sugar stuff, and then it comes back again on the finish with more of that barnyard and the spice of the rye. The spice is just lingering on the top of the roof of my mouth. Whatever spice is registering all on the roof of my mouth.
this makes me so happy that I pursued this because this is absolutely
That
delicious.
was spectacular, and I don't think that I've ever really honestly considered spending $200 on a bottle of bourbon before, or a bottle of whiskey at all. 25-year-old Scotch notwithstanding.
Right.
That makes me want to think that this might be worth spending $200 on a bottle of whiskey.
I don't even like Metallica. This is good. I'm getting more out of the nose now that I put a little water in it.
There's a couple of drops. There's 2 drops. Let's see what happens.
Just
with
two.
2 drops.
Just 2.
Immediately get more of the rye out of the nose. Even just putting the water on the nose changes it that much. I get less of the fruit and more of the rye spice and the
And it's the same. It's the same on the palate. It's the same. You get a little more of the rye characteristics with.
the spice hits right away. It
Yeah.
doesn't lead with the toffee like it did last time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's more bready. It's more grainy immediately.
Yep.
And it's spicier on the finish again.
This is one of those that I think I like better without putting a couple of drops of water.
And it might be. Even at, 109?
Yeah. I liked it. I like the.
109. That can't be right.
It's. I think it's.
It
Something.
is 109.
It is 100. It's 109. It may be the new math, which would make it 75, but I
Right,
think it's
yeah.
109.
That's crazy. The fruit comes through more on the finish, the more it lingers with me, and the more I talk over it, I think I'm getting the spice again, just in the retro-nasal.
I'm getting now that I've gone a couple of, 30 seconds without having another sip, I'm getting a caramel way back. I'm getting a caramel thing out of it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of that toffee and caramel that bleeds through the whole thing, because it's a caramelized
That's what I've got on the back of
Bourbon.
my tongue right now.
rye, whatever it is.
It's right.
Yeah.
But if you're not a rye drinker, this will not put you off one bit. This is before we put water in it.
Well, even at that, there's plenty of 80 proof ryes that are a lot more spicy than this thing
Oh
is.
yeah, heck yeah.
And it's got a big caramelized backbone. There's that raspberry, and there's something else going on in there that I want to identify as apple. But I don't think it is. I think it's just reminding me of apple.
Here's what I think. Because I'm the same way. Because since you've talking about apple every time we pick up a bourbon, I think about it.
Yeah.
And so now when I drink a bourbon, sip a bourbon, almost every time, I go, apple.
Well, and some of that's legitimate, that it's actually there, and some of that is that it's very easy to talk yourself into what you think you're tasting.
But I would still agree with you that Eagle Rare has a green apple.
Oh, I'm positive that one has.
Backbone to it.
That one I know I'm right on.
There's a reason to take a sip of Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Think about apple and have a sip.
Granny Smith, green apples.
See, I can now smell green apple in this.
I don't think for me it's green apples. I think it's fried apples.
Well, it's apples. You can parse the apple thing all you want.
Well, I guess you use green apples for fried apples, so I guess I'm still talking about the same thing.
But
I'll talk myself into anything.
But I'm getting that off the nose.
Yeah, I'm getting it off the nose, and I'm getting it on the very end again. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in here. And I think I'm picking up, in addition to the raspberry thing, I think I'm picking up some kind of like maybe plums. Maybe not plums. Maybe it's more like cherries. Maybe it's more like cherries.
My palate isn't that nuanced.
Neither is mine, to be honest with you.
Baloney. Jeez.
What I'm trying to learn to teach myself to do still is to identify these smells, and the way I was even taught to do it is you're not trying to identify a smell on its own. You're trying to identify a smell in relation to something else. So you may smell oatmeal, but it may just be that your grandma made oatmeal every morning when you woke up at her house, and so it reminds you of grandma's house. And if you can think of that triggers, oh, it's morning at grandma's house, it smells like oatmeal. That's what it is. Whatever it is, it's like when we did this beer that was that apple donut cider beer. I was like, man, that's exactly the aroma is what you smell when you get out of your car in those orchards in Hendersonville in the middle of the Apple Festival. That is what it smells like. It smells like apple cider donuts. And it's trying to identify what that smell reminds me of that helps me identify what it is. It's very fun. I'm excited to finish this. The spice is really starting to linger, and it's starting to taste more and more like a rye the more I drink it.
Right.
And a lot of that stuff's starting to trend into that, but I'm still getting a lot of fun things I'm discovering. I'm ready to discover more of them, and I'm ready to let these people go.
I am too. So damn lucky. See you next time.